also had a hidden historical message. Henry Ford famously made a Model T. Well, just as S comes before T in the alphabet, so electric cars came before Ford's gasoline cars. And in a way, we're coming full circle, Musk told his biographer, and the thing that preceded the Model T is now going into production in the 21st century. The Model S was a hit. It was also the safest car ever tested by the American Highway Safety Authorities. By 2015, Tesla was selling 50,000 cars per year. In the meantime, established car companies such as Nissan and BMW had begun producing electric vehicles too. In 2016, Tesla announced its Model 3, with a base price of only $35,000. Within 24 hours, the company had taken pre-orders worth more than $7 billion. "Future of electric cars looking bright," Musk exclaimed on Twitter. Maybe the second time around, the idea would stick. The modern electric car is a great idea, made more viable by new technology, but it's not a new idea. And what is true in the consumer tech industry is true in science and other fields of thinking. The story of human understanding is not a gradual, stately accumulation of facts, a smooth transition from ignorance to knowledge. It's more exciting than that, a wild roller coaster ride full of loops and switchbacks. We tend to think of the past as less intellectually evolved than the present, and in many respects it is. Yet, what if the past contained not only muddle and error, but also startling truths that were never appreciated at the time? Well, it turns out that it does. This book is about ideas whose time has come. They were born hundreds or thousands of years ago, but their time is now. Many of them spent a lot of time being ridiculed or suppressed until someone saw them in a new light. They're coming back at the cutting edge of modern technology, biology, cosmology, political thought, business theory, philosophy, and many other fields. They're being rediscovered and upgraded, thought of again and thought about in new ways. Rethought. Creativity is often defined as the ability to combine existing ideas from different fields. But it can also be the imaginative power of realizing that a single overlooked idea has something to it after all. We're living in an age of innovation, but it's also an age of rediscovery, because surprisingly often it turns out innovation depends on old ideas. Just in time. Old is the new. Many personal trainers have abandoned weight machines and now recommend old-school exercises such as gymnastics and kettlebells. In the food industry, there's a trend for cooking elaborate feasts that the aristocracy might have enjoyed 500 years ago. In the age of music streamed over the internet, the coolest way to release your new album is on vinyl. Bicycle-powered rickshaws ply the streets of Manhattan and London. Adults buy colouring books. Even airships are back. The British-made, helium-filled, 100-metre-long Airlander 10 is designed to compete with helicopters for moving heavy cargo. Others foresee a return to passenger airships in our skies, and NASA has developed concepts for airships that could resupply a space station floating in the clouds of Venus. Alongside this multifaceted cultural turn to the past, however, there's also a tremendous focus on the new. Smartphones, smart watches, fitness trackers, startup culture, and a new global skyscraper race, Uber and WhatsApp. The pace of change, we're routinely told, is greater than ever before in human history. The past is just one long roll call of mistakes. We now know better. History is old hat. The future is just around the corner. Conformity to old ideas is lethal, says a former executive editor of Time magazine. This is the age of the unthinkable. But these opinions about our culture, the retro and the futuristic, old is the new versus the age of innovation, are themselves very old. And so is the tension that arises from holding them at the same time. The pace of technological change today is impressive, but hardly more so than that of the 19th century. The 25 years between 1875 and 1900 saw the invention of the refrigerator, the telephone, the electric light bulb, the automobile, and the wireless telegraph. Not to mention the paperclip, just squeezing into the century in 1899. Yet in the same era, the arts and crafts movement was pushing a decidedly romantic return to older ideas of traditional craftsmanship and design. Poets were reworking Arthurian myth, and the Renaissance was being rediscovered and hailed as the crucible of modernity.